Mic testing, mic testing. Yep. Khenpo, what? Lone Khenpo, right? Ah, Lama, Khenpo also? No?
Yeah.
Okay, together?
No.
One person?
One person.
Oh, okay.
You're sitting here.
Yeah, sit here. And Khenpo facing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So okay. My marling mare. No. It's put under.
Oh,
Yeah, floor.
I think.
Down.
Oh,
相当的，我们学，big day in roast, big day in roast.
Oh, I put one red color.
Yeah, can. I think this cannot go inside. No need. This and this. Then the chair on. And later. Oh. Nhưng mà mất tiếng ngồi nha mà này. Chính chú em mình đi. Đi được cái mình sao? I think not have. It's okay. It's okay, right? Okay. No, okay.
Okay,
Okay. Engage then. Engage. Nhâm zo jen da ge jin zo gi be sun nam ge ro la ben je zang ge ro. Jo nam la jan jo bar do da ne gyab zo jen da ge jin zo gi be sun nam ge ro la ben je zang ge ro. Lo ye jo nam la jan jo bar do da ne gyab zo jen da ge jin zo gi be sun nam ge ro la ben je zang ge ro ba jo. Devadan deve yudan dembra gyuce dunga da dunga ye yudan davra gyuce dunga mebe devadan midava gyuce anne bra gyuru enje kunye gunjuro jende de bunje mize jamze la ngana male jijeni Nidhi shizu zu jumde dine jumane dacha sunam gawa de dagya che shene gyatula guji. Zamye ne lhanam gine chusu dhalhaye chune dhabaye de chen dagya gudu zozo. Mendo dhamri rani shenyi de yamba de sanye shindo mide bhawaye do nanda shindo chubaraye jo. Nizum sheba miye senge ge dagye male de da damche la lu da ngaye dambe chagye wo sam. Damche ike ngusum do shinge dunye lu ra du ba yin jawa gun la rab do. Duje de na dunye sanje nam sanje sege we no shubha da de dra chugye. Nagye gawara mende senge zona yange. Jawa kunji yende rabje jende vara sheba damje da gende mendo damba jawa damba da senye namda juba do jo be damba ye jawa de da la ne chebra ye nasa damba namba nyamba dange ba jebra jebwe choge jawa de da la ne chebra ye cheba gan Nidha Jawa Damche Laya Me Samba Chela Debe Dabda Ge Jawa Gunla Chaza Chebai Hangi Ne Luda Ngada Dishe Yege Jan Dikba Da Ge Jiba Nidha Damche Da Ge So So Chadun Sanje Se Ranja Namda Loda Milo Dando Gunje Sonam Gala Yang Deda Gunje Jeso Da Ye Ranganan Jojo Jin Njurembra sanje majanye gumbo de da da ge dam je la kolo la na me ba nge da de ga she de da la do gun la be jen de we je ga ba shin ye no jo zo an ge cha zo wa da ju je sha ba da je zo ye ra gu je nge wa ju se da ge je za ba tham je zo be chan ju jen bo Nuye jeda jeda wa jijuan de mon te ba yin che ye ko lo go do so. Okay. Start, huh? So today we have the teaching about the importance of refuge and Buddhi Chitta, right? So before that, the most important thing is we have to know why we have to take a refuge and what is the object of we take refuge, and of course we are going to take refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, so triple gems. So before that, the most important thing is we have to know the triple gems, the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, right? These are most important. So the taking refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha is we call the taking refuge, right? To the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So that is why we are taking refuge. First, we have to know that. So that's why before that, I will talk about the why we are taking refuge. So normal, we are in samsara, the samsara of where there are so many suffering and there are so many problems, there are so many like different level of sufferings. So yeah, so in this samsara, no anyone who wishing they have some sufferings. Everyone's looking for the happiness, looking for the always have a good health, have a good business, yeah, good wealth. So everyone looking for the good, and no anyone want suffering, bad things to our life. So, but still, everyone looking for that. If we see in this world, the everyone doing something, the main purpose is only one, that is looking for the happiness. Yeah, even you are doing a business, or even you are walking, even you are doing playing, even whatever you do, that is you doing for your happiness. But everyone looking for the happiness, but everyone gets a suffering, right? So everyone have a problems, not a small problems. Yeah. In this samsara, there is no anyone who wish always suffering for themselves. But still, even we talk about the sixth realm, in the health, there are so many beings. Usually we say say that in the hell realm there are so many beings. In the samsara, like in this world, we can count how many people in this world, right? But in the hell realm, we cannot count any. The most beings are in hell, so they are always have suffering. Then after that, the hungry ghosts, if we look to the realm of hungry ghosts, there are lots of beings who are suffering. And even in the animals, we can see, right? So many animals from like fish in the ocean, there are lots of different fish and crocodile. Yeah, so many different animals in the jungles. There are tiger and so many animals. Even in the human society, we can see the dogs, cats, like that. So many animals, they also have a suffering. Even like the horse, donkey, they are animal names. They are also suffering. And we are human being, even in the every human, even we talk each other, then through that we can understand how people are suffering, how they have a suffering in this life. So that is the reason why we have to take refuge, right? Even if we get a life in the god realm or goddess demigod realm, there are also suffering. So in this samsara, everyone looking for this happiness, but everyone getting suffering. So that is the main reason why we have to take refuge. We are getting suffering because we have the roots of suffering, but we cannot cut. We don't know how to cut the root of suffering. That's why even we are wishing for happiness, but we are always getting suffering. Usually in the Shanti Deva, he told in the Tibetan word, Dewa dungal dode se megang dunganyi langam barjuk Dewa do yatimu be rangi Dewa tadar joms. So we are like that. We are always wishing happiness, but we are always getting suffering. We are walking for the happiness, but unfortunately, we don't have a real method or path, the method or path of how to get happiness. We don't know really how to real happiness can get. So that's why we are doing something for happiness, but that is becoming the cause of our suffering. We are like that is, if we give us one example, like the people who drinking so much alcohol, actually he is drinking alcohol for his happiness. He thinking that through the drinking so much alcohol, he thinking that alcohol give him lots of happiness. That is what he's thinking, and he drinking. Then after that, temporarily he get a little bit heavy in himself, but end of the time he gets lots of suffering. Something like that. We are in this samsara. Everyone, even you have like, because we are walking, we are doing something, everyone doing with our greedy, our like ignorance, doing with the anger, jealousy. Because of that defilement, the bad emotions, we cannot we are never trying to do a cut clear these bad emotions. So whatever we do something, then these emotions together with our action, so that is the reason why we get always suffering. So that's why now usually it's said the in our mind we have lots of negative emotions. So those negative emotions are main cause of our suffering. So this is like a disease, like sickness to our life. Even let's say if we have some disease, then we have to, this sickness bring us suffering. So this, for that we have to mass cure our sickness, right? Likewise, these bad emotions, whatever we have, these are our sickness. So that's why we have to take refuge. Like a people who have a sickness, he must have to take refuge to the doctor. He have to go to hospital and must take advice from doctor. Then doctor will give medicine to him. Then he have to take medicine. After he take a very well the medicine, then he can cure his sickness, disease. Like that, we are now getting suffering, loss of getting suffering because of our bad emotions. negative thoughts like anger, greedy, attachment, ignorance, all these bad negative emotions bring us lots of suffering. So we must have to take advice from the Buddha. We must have to search a doctor, like a doctor of Buddha. So Buddha is like a doctor. So we must have to take refuge to the Buddha. Then Buddha will give us the advice how to cure our bad emotions, how to cure our negative thoughts. So that is like a Dharma, right? We have to take refuge to the Dharma because doctor will give us medicine. We must have to take a medicine. Otherwise, we cannot cure our disease. Likewise, so we have to take refuge to the Dharma. Then Sangha is like usually we say after doctor give us a medicine. So when we are very bad situation of sickness, the nurse will help us to take our medicine and help us to everything in the hospital, right? Likewise, the Sangha is like a nurse. So we have to take also refuge to the Sangha. So that is the main reason why we have to take refuge. Let's say if someone thinks I no need to go to take the refuge to the Buddha and Dharma, I no need, I can do myself. If you think like that, I can make happiness myself. If you have that kind of thoughts, then that is totally wrong, right? From the beginningless life to even today, we are in this samsara always get suffering. That is because of we didn't take refuge to the tribal gems. We are always do our ego ourselves, always thinking that I can do myself. If we because of that kind of thoughts, we are continuous uh, born born in the samsara. So that's why now it is a time to if we really want a real happiness, the ultimate happiness, then we must have to take refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. That is very important. So if we don't take a refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, then we will always live in this samsara like we have today. So that is very important to take refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So why we are taking refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha? That is, we have to know. And actually, there are lots of different gods, but we are taking refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. That is because Buddha is usually he has a three. Buddha has a three uh, things. That is the Buddha know how to. One is like usually we call the knowledge. Buddha have a knowledge of realization of how to someone uh, how to show the other people's to save or from the this samsara, how to take out the samsara. He has a that method. He have a that realizations, and also Buddha have a the ultimate compassions. The compassion very the how to say uh, the very profound or very uh, yeah, you can just have to know that the compassion, the ultimate compassion, the Buddha has ultimate compassion. He has a ultimate realization, the ultimate compassion, then the power. He has a ultimate power. These three things have to a Buddha. So Buddha is the perfect for take refuge, like a doctor who know the cure the disease, and even he have a very interest and compassion to the help for the disease, the sickness people. Then if he have the power of everything is he can talk. Doctor have these three kinds of things, then he can help for the disease, the sickness people, right? So likewise, the Buddha have these three things. That so that is the because that's why the Buddha is a perfect teacher for the people who wants real happiness. So, and the Dharma, usually when we talk about the Dharma, then the Dharma is a teaching of Buddha. So Buddha, he himself is a perfect teacher. That's why his teaching is perfect for the people who really wish enlightenment, the Buddhahood. So he can follow his advice. So then the Sangha, Sangha is like I already told, the Sangha is like a nurse. So in when we talk about the Sangha, the example is like the Bodhisattva who are in a very high practitioner of the bodhicitta. Those Sangha are really have a helpful for the people who wish the Buddhahood. So the Buddha Dharma Sangha is perfect for the taking refuge to them. So that's why people really who really wish enlightenment, even you really wish to yourself becoming Buddha, then we must have to take refuge to the Buddha Dharma Sangha. Take then through that we can do a practice. Through that we can slowly we can increase our practice, and then we also can become a Buddha. So that the main what I mean is, so Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, these three things is usually we call the triple gems, and we have to take refuge for the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha for cure our negative thoughts, negative emotions, right? But when we take a refuge, there are two different in the we say the Theravada tradition also the taking refuge is different. Then the Mahayana, they have also different taking refuge, the different method of taking refuge. So usually, when we have a suffering, when all the sentient beings have a suffering, our intention, like now we are practitioner of Mahayana. In the Mahayana, we also practice the Vajrayana, right? So when we have take the refuge, our intention, motivation must need not only for yourself, we have need all the sentient beings. We have to take refuge. We have to take refuge for all the sentient beings, not for ourselves. So usually, the Theravada, actually there is when we talk about the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, triple gems, then the taking refuge, then Theravada and Mahayana, they have a little bit different. So now, in the one is reason, yeah, I already told we have a suffering, and we have a suffering. I have a suffering. That's by these sufferings is very big problem to us. So likewise, the others, all the sentient beings also have lots of suffering. So people who always think about the other beings, that people always want to help for the other beings. They also want cure the other people suffering, right? So that's why the Mahayana tradition, when we take the refuge, if we take refuge only thinking about ourselves, then that is become a wrong practice of Mahayana. So that's why when Mahayana tradition, if we do a taking refuge, then we have to think about all the sentient beings. We have to take refuge with the compassion to every sentient beings. Yeah, like there are lots of the in this samsara, everyone's have lots of suffering, and that suffering is you cannot tolerate, and you must have to do something for all the sentient beings. So for that, you have to practice yourself first. Firstly, you have to practice yourself. Then slowly, if you start practice yourself, then one day you can become a Buddha yourself. So that kind of intention, that kind of motivation you need before you taking the refuge, right? So through that, then if you take a refuge, then that taking refuge is become a Mahayana refuge. Then the object of Buddha, during taking the refuge, the object of Buddha, Dharma, Sangha is also little bit different than Theravada. The Buddha, usually when we talk about the Buddha, then that is yeah, not only the Shakyamuni Buddha, all the Buddha who have cured all the bad emotion, negative thoughts, who have highest the realizations, highest compassions. That those all the Buddhas are object of taking refuge. Then when we talk about Dharma, then Dharma is not only the Dharma of uh, uh, Theravada Sutra. The Dharma is the like uh, the Mahayana practice include every Mahayana practice like the 6 perfections, all those things are the Dharma. Then also like usually when we talk about the Dharma, there is a 2 different object. The one object is when we like one is the Buddha teachings. When Buddha give a teachings, then the speech, his teaching itself is a Dharma. Then others like Buddha give a teaching to us, then we do a practice of that teaching, then we get some experience, the realizations. That realization is also Dharma. So the people who do the practice of bodhicitta, then through that they get some experience of bodhicitta. Those all are the Dharma. Then when we talk about the Sangha, then in Mahayana, the Sangha is like Bodhisattva. Like in Theravada, usually when they talk about the Sangha, then that is like Arhat, like that. Then in the Mahayana, the Sangha is Bodhisattva. So there is a little bit different. So anyway, the first most important thing is we have to know why we have to take refuge. Then who are the object of we taking refuge? Then after that, the most important thing is we have to know after take a refuge, what benefits we get. So if you take a refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, then of course when you take a refuge to the triple gems, from that time you are becoming Buddhist yourself. And also you have the vow of refuge. And that vow of refuge is very, very important for the practice, because the vow of refuge is the like a foundation of everything. Whatever, like if you want to build a house, first you need a ground and need a very good foundations. And on that foundation, then you can make a house, you can build a house, you can make first floors, second floor, like that. So likewise, the refuge practice, the taking a refuge and the vow of refuge is the like a foundation of everything. If you don't have that refuge practice or refuge vow, then whatever you do a practice, whatever you like, if you do a offering to the Buddha Dharma, or even you do a chanting, even you helping to the other beings, those all the good karma, good things are cannot become a cause of Buddha. That is, cannot become a practice of Buddhist practice. That is, cannot become a Mahayana practice. So that's why if you must have a refuge vow if you want to practice for Mahayana practice or Buddhist practice. If you like, the main reason is we want the main reason of we practice is we are like Mahayana. We are doing practice for becoming ourselves Buddhahood, get a Buddhahood for all the sentient beings. But if we don't have the vow of refuge, then whatever we do a practice, that practice cannot become a Mahayana practice. If that practice cannot become a not become a Mahayana practice, and whatever we do, whatever we practice, that is just become a get some merits only. That is cannot become a taking us to the Buddhahood. That is cannot become a Mahayana practice. That is not become a cause of in the future we are becoming Buddha. So that's why the taking refuge and having refuge vow is very important. And also, usually we are always seeking for the protections, right? We are always practice praying to the Mahakala for protect from the obstacle. We doing lots of that things, but it also say that if you really believe in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and if you always do a refuge practice, the taking a refuge vow, and always thinking about Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and always believe in the all the Buddhas, Dharma, Sangha, then that is the real, that is very protections. That is, it says that is the very good protection for ourselves. Usually, it also say that when you going to somewhere, like let's say if you're going from north to east, then that time you have to practice like think about the Buddha or who are east side. In your mind, you can visualize the Buddha, and you can do a practice of refuge prayer like Sangye like Gyabso Chivo, Chula Gyabso Chivo, Genden like Gyabso Chivo, like that kind of refuge prayer chanting. That is also very good protection from the your obstacle. And like when you have a sickness, when you have a problem, when you have a bad situation, that time you can remind the Tirval gems and believe to the Buddha Dharma Sangha and take a refuge and recite and or chanting the refuge prayer. So doing if you do like that, that is a very good protection for yourself. So yeah, yeah. Uh, now I want to conclude with again the most uh, important part I tell about suffering. Right, we all have a suffering. That is the main reason we have to take refuge. If we cannot take the refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, if we not believe in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, then there is no any opportunity to end making end of the samsaric suffering. So if you want to save from the samsaric suffering, this suffering, then you must have to take refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Otherwise, there is no any other way to save from the this suffering. So that is the main reason, right? Suffering. We all have suffering. So because of that, we have to take refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So, but people who do a practice of Mahayana, like us, we are always doing the Tara Puja, we always choosing the Mahayana practice and the Vajrayana practice. But before that, most important is before we taking the refuge, our motivation, our intention is very important. We not doing refuge prayer, taking refuge to the not only ourselves, not doing for ourselves or not doing for our relatives, our parents, not doing for that. We must have to prepare. We are doing for all the sentient beings. You have ability to help other beings or not, but you must need a intention, that kind of intention, that kind of compassion is very important. If you don't have a compassion to other beings, if you don't have a motivation of uh, help for all the sentient beings, if you don't have that compassion, then whatever you take a refuge, the refuge is not a Buddhist Mahayana refuge. That is not become a part of Mahayana. So that's why when you take a refuge, your intention, your motivation must need a doing for all the sentient beings. That is most important. Then when you're taking the refuge prayer, then Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So most important is we have to practice. The Buddha is who give us our teachings. The Dharma is the real path. So we must have to practice the Dharma. The Dharma actually there are lots of different teachings. The main is there are two Dharma teachings, right? There are two. One is compassion, other is knowing about the truth. This two thing is we have to learn every time. Compassion, we have to increase our compassion through the practice every time, and through the meditation, through the learning, then we have to know the truth. Like Buddha have teach us the truth of emptiness. This is we have to learn that, and we have to meditate that. Then we have to experience that through that. So that is the main. Only chanting also not enough. We have to learn. We have to do practice in the practical. That is most important. So through that later, then one day we can become a Buddha ourselves. Then we can benefit lots of sentient beings. Now we cannot do anything, right? Even we wish help for the other beings, but we have not ability to do that. So that's why now we need some other things to help us. That is Tribal Gems, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So that is very important. Then I already told the benefits of taking refuge. There are lots of benefit. We have to always remember that benefits, and then we have to practice every time, and that is very important. So any question about the taking refuge? Yeah, just now whatever my teaching is all like not very like the traditional the teaching way. Just I told just some like simple one. So then if you have any question, then you can ask me. Then it will become, yeah, the discussing is more better to then I talk. Yeah. I don't know when I talking the understand or not. Yeah, I cannot understand, right? So if you ask a question, then if I give an answer, then it will become more clear. No, I have. Yeah. So
Khenpo, can Khenpo give an example of any previous story about the benefit of taking refuge? Yeah, like always, Khenpo give us some examples, right, of the ancient times.
The benefit of, like, example. Okay. Usually there is a one story. Usually it is quite famous when the teacher are giving the refuge teachings. It says there was a one monk who are in their room, and one day one thief came to his room. Then he tried to steal something from his room. Then that day he coughed. Yeah, when the thief come, then the monks know that there is a thief. Then suddenly he can cough, and that time he hit the stick to the dead thieves. Then during the he hit stick to the thieves, he chant the refuge prayer. Sangye la gyapsu chewa, chola gyapsu chewa, ginde la gyapsu chewa. So then he hit 3 times, because there is a Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, only three triple gems, right? Then after that, he released the thieves from him, and then the thieves went back to his place. Then usually he is staying under the one bridge. So then he panicked so much. Then slowly he reached to his place under the bridge. Then that time, usually it's saying that on that bridge, the spirit are always going here. The demon, yeah, what do you say? The demon, the spirit, yeah, ghosts. You can call ghosts also. They are always going on that bridge here and there. So after the thieves come back, and that day, the ghosts and the spirit cannot walk on that bridge. Then later, all the ghosts and the spirit, they check. Normal, they are always going here and there on the bridge. There is no problem. But that day, they cannot go. They can someone stopping, not allowed to go there. So later the ghosts and the spirit, they all check why cannot go. Then they saw the thieves under the bridge. Then asked to them, the ghosts come to the thief and ask, why we cannot go on the bridge? What knowledge do you have? The ghost asked to them like that. Then the thieves told, I don't know anything, but today I know something. That is, I know the refuge prayer, because unfortunately today I went to some on monk's room to yeah, steal something, and he caught me, and he gives stick hit stick to me, and that time he hit me with the refuge prayer, Sangye Lajab Suchocho Lajab Suchogan. And that refuge prayer I know, and I am also very believe to the Buddha Dharma, because Buddha is very, he's told, very intelligent. He only make 3 prayer. If have a 4, 5, then I get more stick. He told like that. You know what I means? So he also have us that little bit kind of devotion to the Buddha Dharma Sangha, and he also know the how to chant the refuge prayer. Then the thief told to the ghost that today I have a that knowledge. Then the ghost and all the spirit and realize why they cannot go on the bridge because of the that Tirval James. He is very devotion to the Buddha Dharma Sangha, and he know the knowledge of how to chant the refuge prayer. And because of that, they are cannot this prayer protect stop the ghost, all these things. Yeah, that is one kind of example of benefit of refuge prayer. So usually it's a if you have a totally from the bottom of your heart, if you believe in the Buddha Dharma Sangha, you have a very devotion to the Buddha Dharma Sangha, then it is always protect you. Now most of the us, yeah, we are doing practice of refuge prayer, but still we are hesitate. Sure, we are not 100% believe in the Buddha Dharma Sangha. That is the problem. That's why we don't get the blessing of Tribal Gems 100%. When you, yeah, even the people who do always the practice of the Buddha Dharma Sangha, when sometimes get a bad karma come out, then when you not have a good success, then your believing is losing there. Then there is cannot the puja, the Buddha Dharma, it cannot do anything. You feel like that. Actually, we have a lots of bad karma also, and sometimes our bad karma give us the we cannot hide from our bad karma. So yeah, that is the reason one why we cannot give 100% to the Tirval Gems. There is the problem. If you have a totally believe in the Buddha Dharma Sangha, 100%, if you do believe in the Buddha Dharma Sangha, then you will get 100% blessing. Yeah. That is not only this history, but in the previous, most of the master who really do a 100% believe in the Buddha Dharma Sangha, they get lots of benefits. Yeah, there are many history also others.
Khenpo, there's one question online. Why we should not take refuge in gods, since gods too have certain power to help them, help human.
Actually, you can take refuge to the, usually it said that when we say that refuge, like during the raining time, we take refuge to the umbrella. The umbrella is helping like that. But now we're talking about the ultimate happiness. We're taking refuge not only for this life happiness. We are talking about we get the real path, that we get the ultimate happiness. But that kind of ultimate happiness we cannot get from the gods. Usually we say the God, actually, what God he means, right? But usually we have there's so many samsaric deities, how to say, the local deities, something like that, that some people also call God to them. Then some, usually we say that we're talking about like God Ram, that also God. Then in the when we talk about the teaching, then some say the God is also like the other religions. They are also in the Buddhist view, they are also God, right? But in Buddhist, when we talk about the ultimate truth, the I already told that we are taking refuge to for the sake of samsaric suffering, all the suffering. For that, we must need something who already out from the samsara. So that's why the gods, most of the gods, yeah, I think they are in samsara. They are also not out from the samsara. So they cannot help to us for out from the samsara. So that is the main reason. Usually we give example of the people who are in the, let's say I'm fall down in the river, then I want to take out, but I cannot swim very well. And the other people, my friend, the other people, he also fall down in the river. He also, the water, the river water, he bringing we both. Then he cannot help to me because he also in the water, right? River, in the fall down in the river. He also need help like this. Most of God are in the samsara. They also have negative thoughts. They also haven't quit the roots of ignorance, root of attachment, roots of all the defilements. So there are also need help. So they cannot help us to take out from the samsara. So that is the main reason why we cannot take to the God, refuge to the gods. The God themselves also in the samsara. So how they can help us? They can, some local, yeah, they can do a temporarily, but that is not the perfect object of take refuge. Like temporarily, we can, the other human being also can help to the other and beings, right? But that is not reason we have to take refuge to him. So usually in the God, when we talk about the God, like Shiva, then the lots of like Hindu lots of, there are lots of God. And in the Buddhist view, like the Christian, they saw that like the Jesus or God, whatever. We in the Buddhist view, they all are not out from the samsara because they are not, they haven't quit all that negative emotions, because negative emotions only can cure through the, can cut through the knowing the real truth, which is we talking like Buddha give us the teaching of like there is no selfishness, there is no self, there is emptiness, yeah, that kind of That is only talk in the Buddhism. The Buddha only can teach that kind of teachings. So that is the main reason. So actually, we have the importance of refuge and bodhicitta, right? I think, yeah, bodhicitta, meaning of bodhicitta, you know, right? Not 100%. Usually, in your mind, what is the bodhicitta? When we talk about the bodhicitta, what meaning comes in your thoughts, come in your mind?
Avoided from all suffering. Suffering.
Yeah. Sister? When we talk about the bodhicitta in Chinese, what is it? Mandarin? Buddhism. Then what meaning come out in your mind? Oh, that is the real bodhicitta, something. Compassion. Sakoni?
To all sentient beings.
Okay. Usually in the bodhicitta, usually in Tibetan we call the semke, tekpa chimbe semke. So that is we call semke panishin den chiri yangda zope changju. The definition is that. That means actually if we think lots of benefit to all the sentient beings, that also kind of compassion, right? It is kind of compassion and it's kind of bodhicitta, but real bodhicitta is wishing Buddhahood. Yeah, I want to become a Buddha. If you have that kind of wishing, not for yourself, for all the sentient beings. Just now I told, right? All the sentient beings, we all have a suffering. And we can see the lots of suffering in the society or in the human beings, in the animals, hungry ghosts. If we talk about the hell them, all have a suffering. You know that they're suffering and you want to help them. But now we cannot do help. So wishing for help them, first you have to make yourself very perfect, right? Like that, wishing Buddhahood for all the sentient beings. That is bodhicitta. If you have a compassion, that is good. But if you have a compassion, if you don't have a wishing of Buddhahood, that is not bodhicitta. If you wish Buddhahood, but you don't have a compassion, that is also not bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is for all the sentient beings, wishing yourself a Buddhahood first. Then after that, I will do a benefit. That is, you need from your heart. Yeah, we always doing practice for what? We practice for becoming ourselves Buddhahood, and then can help for other beings. For all the sentient beings, wishing ourselves a Buddhahood, like enlightened. Yeah, I want to become a Buddha for all the sentient beings. That kind of thoughts, that is bodhicitta. If you have a wishing or benefit all the sentient beings, that is good, very good. But if you don't have a wishing Buddhahood yourself, then it's not totally bodhicitta. Let's say if you are wishing Buddha, but you have not wishing benefits to the other beings, and if you have that is also not bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is for all the sentient beings wishing yourself Buddhahood, and if you have that kind of thought, that is we call the also bodhicitta. And for all the sentient beings, I want to become a Buddha, and I wish to practice all the like 6 perfection, or let's say in the Vajrayana, I want to practice hair Vajra, Vajra Yogini, whatever have that kind. Then there is in Tibetan we call the Memba Samgye and Jugba Samgye. Jugba Samgye means wishing practice like 6 perfection or hair Vajra practice or whatever. Yeah, that is also a bodhicitta. Another one wishing Buddhahood, and another one is wishing practice for enlightened, like that. I want to go KL. That is wishing, right? I want to go. That is the Memba Simge we call that. I also exactly name I don't know in English, but that is the usually example like that. I wish to go Nepal. First we come out wishing like that, right? Then I wish to go Nepal. So for that I want to take a flight. Yeah. Then during you taking the flight, you also have you are on the path already, you are on the way, but still you have a wishing to reach there. So that's two different. Now you are here, just only wishing, I want to go Nepal. Right? So later you are on the way, or for going to the Nepal, I want to take a ticket, I want to go to airport, I want to do then you think like that, then you are on the way. During on the way, or yeah, you have still wishing to reach in Nepal, right? So that is the different only.
So, Khenpo, why having the bodhicitta is important?
Why?
Yeah.
Having bodhicitta is
yeah,
important.
Khenpo explained what is bodhicitta, right? So in today's topic, the importance of taking refuge and bodhicitta.
Yeah. Bodhicitta. Before I told, right, if we don't have a refuge, vow, the refuge practice, then we are like we don't have any foundations. If you don't have a foundation, you cannot build anything. Like that, if you don't have a refuge vow, then you cannot practice the Mahayana practice, Vajrayana practice, or even like if we talk about the vow, then there is some monks, the bhikshu vow, there are lots of practice. Whatever you do a practice, that practice is not a Buddhist practice, because you don't have a foundation of Buddhist. And the becoming Buddha and enlightened is very hard if you don't have a vow. like that. The bodhicitta is the thought, the practice that is we bring that because of that bodhicitta, every your practice is connect with the Mahayana or becoming a real part of Buddhahood. So let's say I have a refuge vow. I'm doing practice, always chanting, always doing offering. But if you don't have a bodhicitta mind, then whatever you do a practice, those all are not Mahayana practice. That practice can get you merits, but that practice cannot become a cause of enlightenment. That practice cannot become a real Mahayana practice. So that is the one reason why important. And others, there are lots of benefit also. Let's say if you have a bodhicitta mind, if you have a bodhicitta vow, then whatever you do a practice, that practice become a very strong merits, and that practice become also cause of enlightenment, becoming yourself Buddha. It is become a real Buddha path, the path of Buddha. Let's say I don't have any bodhicitta mind, but I do lots of practice. Let's say I do lots of like chanting, lots of prostration, offering, but I don't have a bodhicitta. That means you are doing lots of practice, the chanting, prostration, whatever, but that is cannot become a cause of in the future. That merits cannot help you to become a Buddha because there is not perfect path of Buddha, because there is missing bodhicitta. Let's say I have a bodhicitta vow, but I'm not doing usually so much prostration, so much offering. I have bodhicitta in mind practice, and I do very little offering sometimes, prostration only sometimes, chanting only sometimes, but that practice in the future become a cause of Buddha. You enlighten yourself a Buddha because even the you doing small things, but whatever you doing is with the you doing with the bodhicitta, and that is the power, that is the benefit of bodhicitta mind practice. Even in the Shantideva say, when you have a bodhicitta in your self, from that you are starting always merit. Even you are sleeping time also you have merits. Even you are eating, but you doing not prostration, not offering, just eating time, but in your heart you have a bodhicitta. So because of that, that time also you are collecting the merits, very benefits. So yeah, that is the bodhicitta. If we do practice, the bodhicitta is very important. This make our all the practice the path of becoming Buddha in the future. If you don't have a bodhicitta, then all the practice is just become a collecting merits only. It become a samsaric. That merit only bring you the samsaric good things. It is not going beyond the samsaric, not helping for the becoming Buddha, out from the samsara, cannot become like that. So for that, you must need a if the merits that if you want to become make the cause of the Buddha, then that merit must be connect with the bodhicitta. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Usually, as bodhicitta, usually it comes through, like, let's say someone give a teachings, then through that you understand what is the bodhicitta, what is the benefit of bodhicitta, and after that, the most important is we have to take the bodhicitta vow. Like refuge, also we can take vow. The bodhicitta is we can take a vow. The vow is we can take from our teachers, guru, like they give us a teaching, then we have to follow him. Then through that, we get a bodhicitta vow. And after that, even you can, in the holy place like Bodh Gaya temple near you can take yourself bodhicitta vow. And even in front of the Buddha statue or the temple, stupa, there you can take bodhicitta vow yourself. And the most important practice is you have to think always past. The most important thing is we have to always remember the bodhicitta. Always before you sleep, you have to think, I want to become a Buddha for all the sentient beings. Thinking like that is also become practice. You have to always keep thinking, I want to become a Buddha for all the sentient beings. Even you are eating time, even you are walking time, even you are sleeping time, you can just remember that things only. And slowly you can do a lots of with this bodhicitta mind, then you can do a 6 perfection practice, like giving, doing the discipline, then tolerate. Yeah, this all practice become a bodhicitta practice. And bodhicitta usually and with that intention, with that motivation, then whatever you do, those all the practice is become a bodhisattva practice. That means it is also the bodhicitta practice. The most important thing is you just always keep in your mind that I want to become a Buddha for all the sentient beings. And slowly, and you can do the bodhisattva practice. There are lots of like 6 perfection practice also, and the Four Noble Truth. Whatever you do a practice, that become a bodhicitta practice, bodhisattva practice. Even every time we are reciting, right, when we're doing a puja, there are always first prayer is refuge prayer. After that, bodhicitta prayer. Every have. So you just, for us, we are beginner, right? So most important is we have to keep thinking the bodhicitta is very important. Always thinking, I want to become a Buddha for all the sentient beings. You cannot lose that thinking. That is most important. After that, then slowly our that thinking become more increasing. Then after that, we can do a more benefit for all the other beings. Then that also bodhicitta practice.
Khenpo, there's one question. It's I say how bodhicitta helps in tantric practitioner.
Bodhicitta.
And how bodhicitta helps for tantric practitioners. Tantric.
Tantric practice. Actually, tantric practice have also the thinking is same. There is no different. Like wishing ourselves Buddhahood is a bodhicitta. It is same in the sutra, Tantrayana or Sutrayana. It is same. But the practice times, but in the Tantra, there are some other methods which is not in the Sutrayana. There are, yeah, Tantrayana always there, Vajrayana, there are different methods, right? Yeah, that kind of methods have. But bodhicitta, the real meaning, the main point is same. Even if you do a tantric practice, there is no any different bodhicitta. Is same.
Any more question? No? Okay, Khenpo. I think no more questions.
Zibo nye done nye be dana pamje de jega na je balon to ba ye se be tsole do ando bra jo chidra kemba da gundo sambo de ya de chen de da gunje je so dal yawa de da dam je rab do ndu so she be yawa dam je ge ngo gala jo do na Tage geve zawa dige ya sambo je je rab do ngo warai. Chuje shaba da je so ye ra bu je so wa ye ge wa jun se da ge je tam je zo be jang jun chen bo ngo. Okay. This one.